Hey, I'm going to glue this base fretboard onto this neck. Here we go. Okay, we're going to start with the truss rod. And you can see here that it fits in there nicely, but it can jiggle around, can move around in there. And I think to prevent that from being a problem, I'm going to put a little dab of silicone up on this end and a little dab down on this end. But I have to be careful that when I do it, I don't allow it to get into the threads here on the truss rod on either end, because those parts need to move and I don't want to get them gummed up and render the truss rod useless. Ugh, that looks like way too much. Take a little bit of that out. I only need a little bit in there. I just need to, just enough to hold it. I don't want it to squish around everywhere and make a big globby mess. Okay, now I'm just going to let that cure for a while. Here and here, I have two small pins. The pins are just a nail that's been driven down, not very deep, and then cut slightly proud of the surface. And I've taken the fretboard and placed it exactly where I want it to go, and gently push down on it to make a little mark on the underside of the fretboard of where each pin lies. And then I used a pin vise and a small drill bit just to put a little hole in the bottom side of the fretboard that will be aligned with that pin, one on each end. And when it's time to glue that together, I'll be able to drop that on there and I will feel the fretboard drop right down on over the pin, just like that. And I'll know that I've got it right where I want it. Okay, the silicone is cured, and I just want to show you that the truss rod still works correctly. I'll use a Allen key here, give it a twist. You can see the action of the truss rod there. Give it a little more. So, everything still works. Truss rod is stuck in place where it belongs. And I think it's safe to go ahead and glue on the fretboard. So before I begin, I want to mention that I've already put this radius on this end of the fretboard here, because once I glue it down, I'm not going to have an opportunity to do that. And I just did that on the sander, a disc sander, and then use some fine sandpaper to make it nice and smooth. Okay, I'm going to put some tape over the truss rod just to temporarily keep the glue from getting down in there. Like that. Okay, here we go. sure that there's enough glue on that. I think I need a little more. It's kind of, the tape was maybe a little too wide. Squirt a tiny little bit more on. Yeah, not sure about that tape idea. Don't know if that was a good idea or not. Okay, here we go. Side. Put this on just to hold that down. I'm going to use a couple of boards like this just to not damage the top of the fretboard. Okay, there it is. That turned out alright. The next step is to start to get the fretboard tapered down to the correct size and to start shaping the neck, and that will be the topic of an upcoming video, so stay tuned for that. And thanks for watching. And by the way, I apologize for the poor lighting and poor sound quality in my videos. I'll try to do better in the future. Thanks again.